Hey there learners, how's it going? Hola aprendices, ¿qué tal? We are here today with the beginner's guide to playing Mario Kart World in Spanish, or La guía para principiante para jugar Mario Kart World en español. Now without further ado, we're going to start off with the basics, taking a look quick at el manual, the manual, which we'll see again later. We're going to look at the most simple or necessary, maybe in some cases novel, técnicas or techniques that you would need to know to play Mario Kart World in Spanish. Unlike in other games, unlike in many games, where we'll see prompts for the actions pop up all over the place, and that doesn't happen too much in Mario Kart World. So, we're going to take a look at the manual here instead. The first thing we have here is turbo salida, which is a rocket start. You might be like, what? I don't see rocket, cohete, or like salida means like from salir, like to leave, so I don't get this. But turbo is like turbo or really fast. Salida is like an exit, so like you're leaving or exiting, or you're starting you're exiting the beginning line or leaving the start line. Turbo, like really fast. So turbo salida is a rocket start, and we'll also read the description super quick. Para efectuar una turbo salida, to carry out a rocket start or to make a rocket start, I guess to do. Mantén oprimido A, hold down A, mantener oprimido is to hold down, justo después del segundo, or del dos, so right after the 2, durante la cuenta regresiva, during the countdown. La cuenta regresiva is a count regresiva, like regressive or backwards, so countdown. So there's a turbo salida, the rocket start. Then we have derrapar, which is, as you see in the little video here, drifting. So mantén oprimido R, so hold down R, mientras aceleras e inclinas L. So while you speed up, or while you're speeding up or accelerating, and inclinar is like lean or tilt. So while you speed up and tilt the left stick para tomar las curvas, to take the curves de forma más cerrada sin perder velocidad. To take the turns de forma más cerrada would be like tighter turns, or like in a tighter way. So take tighter turns sin perder velocidad, without losing speed or velocity. Then we got mini turbo, which is same thing in standard or English, a mini turbo, when it's like a little boost you get from drifting. It says, si saltan chispas de las llantas mientras derrapas. So if sparks start shooting out from the llantas, can be, depending on the dialects of Spanish, either wheels or tires. Mientras derrapas, as you're drifting, suelta R para dar un acelerón. Let go of R, release R to dar un acelerón. Comes from the verb acelerar, which is to accelerate. So acelerón from here on out is a boost. So para dar un acelerón, to do a boost. Aguanta hasta que las chispas cambien de color. Aguantar is to like hold on or hold it, and hold it. I would say hold it. Or hold out hasta que las chispas cambian de color, until the sparks change colors. Hasta 3 veces sin el volante inteligente, up to 3 times without smart steering. Para prolongar el acelerón, to prolongar very clearly looks like prolong, so to prolong the boost, or to make the boost go longer. Next we have salto con acelerón. Salto comes from the verb saltar, which is to jump, so a jump boost. Salto con acelerón, jump boost. So oprime R justo cuando despegues desde una rampa, so press R right when you take off from a ramp o de objetos similares, or from similar objects, para hacer un truco en el aire, to do a trick in the air, y lograr un breve acelerón, and to achieve a small boost. Dar vueltas sin avanzar, we don't use this one much, but this is just turning around without going forward. I'll do really quick. Tiene que mantener oprimido A y B a la vez. So you hold down A and B at the same time and you turn. Inclinas con la palanca derecha. Or sorry, la palanca izquierda. You tilt with the left stick and you can turn around quick. Anyway, salto cargado is a salto again, jump. Cargado comes from the verb cargar, which is to charge. So charge jump, salto cargado. Make sure you have the R in there. Si mantienes oprimido R unos instantes mientras avanzas, so if you hold down R for a few instants or moments while you're mientras avanzas en línea recta, as you're going forward in a straight line, con A, with A, surgirán chispas de las llantas. Sparks will emerge, or like come up from the wheels. En ese momento, in that moment, suelta R y inclina L para saltar en esa misma dirección. So then in that same moment, let go of R and incline or tilt the left stick to jump in the same direction. So it's like the same thing as drifting, but you're just going forward. So Yeah, en vez de derrapar, mientras tiene que inclinar desde el principio, your turn, you're tilting from the beginning with a drift. With a charge jump, you're not tilting from the beginning, you tilt after you press the button. Anyway, we have deslizarse por los rieles, which is rail riding or slide. Like, deslizarse is like literally to slide on, or to like scroll, like desliza. So deslizarse por los rieles is to grind or like slide on the rails. Es posible manejar sobre elementos estrechos como pasamanos y tendidos eléctricos. So it's possible to drive, manejar sobre, to drive on elementos estrechos, so like narrow elements como pasamanos, like rails or railings, y tendidos eléctricos. Y tendido eléctrico is like the electrical lines. And tender is like the verb to like, one of the verbs to like hang or like put up. So it's like los tendidos are the things that are hanging or put up, right? Eléctricos, the electric ones. Incluso puedes subirte a ellos dando un salto cargado. You can even jump onto them or get onto them dando un salto cargado, doing a charge jump. Manejar por muros, which is again manejar, which is to drive, or also conducir is to drive in Spanish more so. Por muros, on walls. So si efectúas un salto con acelerón, so if you do a charge jump o un salto cargado en dirección a una pared, towards a wall, in the direction of a wall, podrás manejar brevemente por ella. You'll be able to drive briefly on it. Brevemente, briefly. Rebobinar. This is probably one of the newest, or one of the most novel, most different changes in the game. Rebobinar. This is a verb to rewind. So si mantienes oprimido el botón hacia abajo, like the down button, puedes hacer que tu vehículo vuelva a una posición anterior. You can make your vehicle return or go back to a previous position. So, there we have all the basic techniques that you would use in Mario Kart World. And now, before we jump into the menu screen to check out what else we need to know to play Mario Kart World successfully in Spanish, we're going to check out one measly race. So, omitir at the bottom is to skip or to omit. We got the Mario Kart circuit, the classic. Primera carrera, the first race. And we're going to hold it empezando con a dos, starting with a 2. And restarted this race just because I wanted to show you the pause menu, because it's a one spot we can get a good look at some basic controls that everyone would use. So it says L is objeto, is an item, or literally looks like object, but we'd say item in English. Derrapar, again, we already talked about, is drift. Acelerar is to accelerate or to like speed up. And then dirección is a direction which you're trying to turn using the left stick. Con esto ya salimos. We're leaving this. And
as has already been made evident, today we are going to take a look at what Spanish we can learn while playing Mario Kart World, focusing on some prominent and highly transferable vocab used throughout one's time with the game. Transferable in the sense of with other games, something in daily life. Yeah. And just to clarify, playing any game in Spanish is as simple as switching the option in system settings that can be found. So to switch to language, head down to the consola, or the console. You're going to head to idioma, which is language. Here you have two options when it comes to Spanish or español. You have español de España, often referred to as español castellano, which is castellano. Then you have español, and it says Latino America here, from Latino America, which kind of in this case encompasses all of the other Spanish speaking countries, although not all of them have the same dialect. So this is just kind of a general, not Spain Spanish. But that's what we're playing in today. So let's head on back to Mario Kart World. So Mario Kart World has got quite a few modes and a lot of menu screens to come over. So we're just going to start from the title screen and break it down from there, taking a look at button prompts, menu options, and then the captions to help contextualize everything. So sin más dilación, or without further ado, let's jump into Mario Kart Mundo. Starting off with our first button press right here. LR, it says oprime. That comes from the verb oprimir, which means to press, and we can figure that out. Just press it. Perfect. All right. We're going to start right here with our first option, or we'll go through all of the options and then jump into one. So we have un jugador, which one player, and you can see the 1P changes to the 1J. Multijugador, multiplayer. Jugador is a player, comes from the verb jugar. Here we have internet, or like internet, playing online. Here we have the last option, or not the last big option, I should say. Inalámbrico. Inalámbrico means wireless, and the root there in that word is alambre, which is a way to say wire. So inalámbrico, without a wire. Or wireless. Down here we have another menu for calcomanías. Some people might know these as pegatinas or simply stickers, but they're stickers. Mapa, base, cognate, map. We got manual, which is, you know, also a cognate manual, or maybe in some cases you call it tutorial or something like that. But now let's go ahead and jump right into single player. Take a look what we got here. Oh, forgot about one of the most important and new options in this game. We got down there at the bottom plus paseo libre. Paseo is like comes from the verb pasear, which is like take a walk. Un paseo is like walk or roam in this case. Libre free, so free roam. Jumping into free roam quick. Paseo libre. Just jumping around, grabbing that quick, and we'll take a look at our first menu. Here we have continuar paseo libre. Click that, continuar, clearly continue. And that works, so it must mean continue. Cambiar de personaje, so we're going to get into this menu more later, but just this is like the only place we can actually see this word. Cambiar is to switch or to change. Cambiar de is like what you're changing, so you're switching your personaje, looks like persona, which is a person, but un personaje is a character. And you can see that is true because we got the whole character screen here, which we will break down some of these words and such in further detail later. In this case, and back. We saw continuar, cambiar, and abandonar. Paseo libre is like abandonar in the sense is not to abandon, or like abandon in the sense to quit. So we are quitting free roam. Okay, heading into un jugador. We have our options here. We'll break them down quick. Grand Prix, same thing, hasn't changed. Supervivencia comes from the verb kind of like sobrevivir, but supervivencia means like survival, and in this case in English they use knockout. Oh, geez Louise, I said we look at captions, so let's take a look at the first one. Grand Prix, compite en cuatro carreras, excuse me. So compete in 4 races. Supervivencia or knockout in English. Mantén la delantera para que no te eliminen. Mantener la delantera means like keep the lead, which is the point of knockouts, right? Maintaining the lead or keeping the lead so you don't get knocked out. Para que no te eliminen is like so they don't knock you out in this case. Up next we have contrarreloj. Un reloj is a clock. Contra is like against, so against the clock. It's a time trial. So that's how we translate in Spanish. Logra el mejor tiempo. Logra mejor tiempo. Lograr is like manage to do or like kind of like achieve. So get or achieve the best time. El mejor tiempo. Carrera versus race, right? Carrera comes from kind of like correr. Una carrera is a race. Normally not a race. Tú pones las reglas. What it says is like you put the rules is how it literally translates, but it's like you make or set the rules is how we would say. Poner, put, also in this case set. Last but not least we have batalla. This is compite con reglas personalizadas, so compete with personalized rules. Batalla meaning battle, of course, cockpit. Alright, we're gonna jump in to the first menu, Grand Prix, and before we get into like looking at maps and stuff, we'll look at the characters. So here we go. We are gonna start at the beginning here with nuestros personajes favoritos y originales. So a main original favorite characters here. We already talked about characters. Our personajes, ordenar is to sort. So then we'll just take a look at a lot of the characters have costumes, and a lot of those costumes pertain to the same category. So for example, if you have Biker Bowser, you'll probably have Biker Bowser Jr. So we'll look at some of like the costume categories. Nice to say. All right, starting with we have Trotamundos, which in English they call this like a touring outfit. Trotamundos, Trotamundos is like someone who goes all around the world, like touring. Because mundo, trotar is like trot to go around, like Trotamundos. Okay, then we got all the Trotamundos people. We have Piloto Pro. It's a pro piloto. It's like the person who pilots the vehicle or the racer. So it's a pro racer outfit. A lot of them have. I also like Koopa's got the bonus corredor. Alguien que corre, someone who runs is a corredor, excuse me. Alright, lots of Piloto Pros. Then next one we got Oasis. There's a few Oasis, which is just Oasis. Maquinista, this is like the engineer on a train. This is Abejorro. We'll just go over this because this is literally just the word for bumblebee. It doesn't got a funny name or anything. Pokey, I think that is the same name in English actually. rebelde in English, these guys are called bikers. In Spanish, they are rebels. Aurora, cow. Everyone loves a good vaca. One of the other words we learned first thing in Spanish, hamburger. Hamburger, super easy to say in Spanish. Hamburguesa. We got toda hamburguesa, que sabroso. Que sabrosa. We got marinerita. So un marinero, una marinera are sailors. Marinerita, like no sailor. We got traje de baño here. Traje de baño is like a bathing suit or swimsuit. Exploradora, we got a couple exploradoras. Or explorador, exploradora. You can see the just to match the gender of the person. Pirata, pirate. Although some verbs it doesn't happen, or some nouns we don't do that with, such as like pirata. He's un pirata, not una pirata, but we don't say pirato. It's just not a word. We got obrero. Obrero is like a worker. Obras are like, it's like work in the sense of construction work. So obrero is someone who works on obras. Obrero Wario, one of the best bits in the game. De vacaciones, everyone knows that song we sing. Vacaciones, vacation. And those are the main costumes. So we're gonna go ahead and select everyone's favorite character. Toda la hamburguesa que sabrosa. Taking a look next at a few extra things on this menu. Back here it's just characters and sorting, but here at the carts, we got a couple extra buttons down there at the bottom. We're gonna start off with those, and then take a look at a couple cars that I found interesting. How the translation works. So first, we'll take a look at the first button down there, Y or Y, detalles, details. Details, this tells us the cart details, or like the stats, if you will. The first one, velocidad, clearly velocity, cognate, so speed, velocity, aceleración, another great cognate, acceleration, peso, peso is weight, or un peso, you know, it's a Mexican currency, however, peso is for weight, comes from the verb like pesar, is to weigh. And we got manejo, is handling, and manejo del vehículo, like the handling of a vehicle. Manejo also has it comes from the verb manejar, which is to like handle, like to drive a car. Cool. So those are the detalles, and here we have X, the X button, ajustes, and then it says slash controles. Press that, and we'll see our ajustes settings, controls clearly. So we'll take a look at our options here. We got smart steering, volante inteligente, because el volante is like steering wheel, so inteligente, smart. Your options are sí or no, like most of these are. Auto aceleración, so the auto acceleration or auto accelerate is what we call it in English. We have auto activar objetos, auto use items or auto activate items. In Spanish, it says auto activate, but it's auto use. Because auto usar, I feel like they'd be kind of like. Oh, it sounds funny. We just use auto activar. So, auto activate items, nope. Next thing we have gyroscopio, which is a lot less fun than English because you can't shout that you're using tilt controls. You're saying using the gyroscope, but that is tilt control option. It's a gyroscopio. Then here we have las cámaras, the cameras, vertical y horizontal, vertical and horizontal. Cool. All our options here. Oh, sorry. I lied. Oh no, we're going too fast. Slow down. Back to the ajustes. I didn't show you. There's one more thing. There's extra options down below. Can't forget minimap, sí o no. We got comida turbo. Gotta look at this because it's the only place I think I found in the game so far where it shows you the word for food. So your turbo food. Comida turbo is transforms, or no transforma. So do you want the food when you get it to transform your character as in change your outfit, or to not transform? Perfect. We're gonna transform. Alright, and now, a lot of the cart names change because a lot of them are kind of like punny. So I want to take a look at some that changed that were kind of funny in English, or that were funny in English and non-Spanish, or vice versa. So, super quick. Number one on my list, this car in English is called Lil Dumpy. Lil apostrophe Dumpy. It's a dump truck. Here it's just called Volcador PK. Volcador is just like the word for like a dump truck. Volcar is the word to like dump. Okay, cool. Next one we had was the Bumblebee. Pretty cool. It's like a bumblebee, but in Spanish we call it abejomóvil. Abejomóvil. Okay, there we go. Abejomóvil. Gotta get the accent straightened up there. Because like automobile is like an automobile. Abejomóvil. trying to like make the same like abeja, abejoro, like the. But it's a pun on bumblebee and or they're not called puns. When you squeeze two words together. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's better in English. Next one, we got the hyperpipe. It's the pipe, and this one translates pretty much same. Hipertubería. A couple other ones. But one of the ¿Dónde está? Delfín. Velocidelfín. This one I liked a lot because velocidad, velocidelfín. So a portmanteau. That's the word when you combine two words together and just see what it looks like. Velocidelfín. So like the speed dolphin. Let's move along. All right. Next big list sort of stuff we're gonna look at is. Who would have guessed? They're the cups. They're what you race on. So we got cups in Spanish. You can see here we got all of them. Copa, 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 copa. That's the cup. So cognate clearly. So we got copa champiñón. That is the mushroom cup. There are different ways to say mushroom in Spanish, and then they usually refer to like different varieties. You've got like setas, you got champiñones, setas, hongos, and they can all be called mushrooms in English, but you could differentiate them further. But anyway, for Mario purposes, we call them champiñones. We got copa flor, flower cup, copa estrella, star cup, copa caparazón, shell cup, copa plátano, the banana cup, copa hoja, that was fun to say, the leaf cup, copa centella, centella, the like lightning cup. I think another word for lightning, at least we use more in Spanish, like relámpago. So I'll put that on the screen. Then last one we got copa especial, special copa especial. Cool. We're gonna go ahead and back out from here because the next thing we're gonna take a look at is hold for applause. Supervivencia. Which I don't think there's a lot to look at here. It's just character select and card select again. Oh, I lied. Toda hamburguesa que sabrosa. And then we have rallies. Maybe they're also called rallies in English. The Rally Turbo. Oh no, because Turbo's the first one, so they're called. Maybe they're also rallies in English. Probably. Anyway, we got Rally Turbo. It's like the golden shroom, which is interesting that it's not like the Rally de Oro, Rally Dorado, because it's like a golden mushroom. Anyway, Rally Yellow, ice rally. Rally Luna, the moon rally. We got the Rally Espinas, the spiky or spike rally. Spiny, sorry, is how we translate that in English. It's because this blue shell is technically the spiny shell. We got Cherry, the Rally Cerezas, so cherry, cerezas. We got Rally Bellota, the acorn rally. Rally Nube, Cloud Rally, and el último, Rally Corazón. Everyone knows Corazón, heart. Moving on.
While there still are a few more menu streams we could go over, specifically referring to the battle mode menus with the options and rules. We could also go over all of the many courses in this game. There are also the items. So there's a lot more we could take a look at, but this video is already way lengthier than I expected, so maybe I will save that for another day. I think definitely I'll put out a video with at least the items, because that'll be short and sweet, and I think people might find that interesting. But thanks for tuning in. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Thanks for checking this out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like. If you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments. Pues muchísimas gracias, chicos. Muchísimas gracias, gente, aprendices. Adiós. Thanks, guys. Thank you, learners. Bye.